So, with the 2024 Olympics wrapped up, it's now almost time for the World Championships of non-Olympic weights. Now, if you don't know that much about international wrestling, you might not quite be sure why this is necessary, so I'll briefly explain it. For reasons well outside the scope of this video, of the 10 weight classes per style that contested at the World Championships and most other international events, the Olympics only supports 6 weight per style, or 18 total weight classes. This means that there are 12 weight classes that are not contested at the Olympics that are contested at literally every other event. And while the Olympics works as an extra prestigious world championship for the 8 classes it supports, for the 12 weight class it doesn't support, the non-Olympic weight world championship is what's usually done to provide a way to see who the best wrestler in the world is at those weight classes. I thought it would be fun to put out a prediction video leading up to it, talking about who I think will win each 12 weight classes across the 3 styles. So yeah. Vito Araujo has to be my pick for 61 kilos. I'm not really sure if anyone can necessarily beat him at 61 kilos. He was pretty dominant at last year's Worlds, even if the score didn't always show it. The only other wrestler that I think could stop Vito is 57 kilo Tokyo Olympic champion Zara Uguev of Russia, and what I think is an interesting matchup. Uguev has wrestled once since his 2021 Olympic campaign at the 2023 World Championships, where he got 5th. Moving up from a weight class that he didn't have that much success in might not sound like a good idea, but Uguev is 29, and he was likely too big for 57 kilos last year, so he might look better up at 61. The fact is, Uguev is unproven at 61 kilos and hasn't medaled at a major competition since 2021. Vito, on the other hand, is proven at 61 kilos and has medaled at major competitions the last couple years. So if nothing else, I'll pick that. For 70 kilos, with the reigning world champion Zane Rutherford out due to his Olympic campaign, I'll pick Andrazian, the 2023 bronze medalist, and he also won the European Championships and the Polak Invitational, including a win against 65 kilo world champion Ismail Musakayev, who admittedly was wrestling up from his normal weight class 65 kilos, but it was also Musakayev, so my 70 kilo prediction will be him. Though Amir Yazdani, I think, will possibly prove to be his toughest test, and also there's a very dangerous opponent in Ramzan Ramazanov, who might actually be related to the newly minted Olympic champion Ramazanov, and is also very good, even though his attempts at qualifying for the Olympics at 74 kilos didn't go too well. At 79 kilos, as much as I want Jordan Burroughs to win his 8th World or Olympic gold medal, it's kind of difficult to pick him. Burroughs is 36, a veritable old man within wrestling, and undoubtedly past his physical prime. That being said though, he did look good at the US World Team Trials, marching through the bracket partly with his signature double leg, then beat Chance Marstow in the final in 2 straight matches. But my main worry for Burroughs is that he hasn't wrestled a major international tournament in 2 years, since winning the 2022 Worlds, which is kind of a long time, all things considered. And there are young, hungry wrestlers that are really good. Chief among them is Mohammad Nokadi of Iran, bronze medalist in Worlds 23, silver medalist in 22. Nokadi is just 23 years old, so he's definitely younger, and he's been active with 2 tournament wins in this year alone, and is undoubtedly dangerous. That said, if anyone has the experience to overcome inactivity, it would be an experienced veteran wrestler like Burroughs. So screw it. I'm going to conform to my American biases and pick the 36-year-old golden boy of American wrestling, Jordan Burroughs, to win at 79 kilos. My pick for 92 kilos men's freestyle is David Taylor of the US. Yes, I know that's the 3rd American I've picked in the 4 men's freestyle weight classes. While 6-time world and Olympic champion Abdulrashid Saudjalayev will be wrestling, which sets up a big potential match against Taylor, I think Taylor wins that match. I think Saudjalayev will be weakened enough from the cut to 92 kilos, so a better Taylor that isn't dealing with a hard cut to 86 will be able to beat him. There's a lot more to say about that, but to keep this video short, I'll make a separate video for that matchup that's probably going to be coming out a bit closer to the event itself. Besides those two, I've also heard some talk about Ghazimpur of Iran, and while he did win Worlds at 92 kilos in 2022, he didn't wrestle at all in 2023, then returned in 2024 up at 97 kilos at Zagreb, where he got a bronze. realistically, I just haven't seen enough quality from Gazimpor recently to suggest that he will win against Taylor Sadulayev. My pick for 55 kilo Greco-Roman is Eldeniz Azizili of Azerbaijan. He's reigning world champion at 55 kilos and won the Polak Invitational this year with ease. There is also Artyom Delianu of Moldova, 2024 European champion, and owner of one of the coolest suplexes I've ever seen. I'm just going to play it again in slow motion, as this is a thing of beauty. But that's also the only senior international medal he's ever gotten, and he didn't do that great at 2023 Worlds, so I'm still picking Azizili. Not much else to say here, but I will say that this weight class is affected the least by the top wrestlers moving off to Olympic weights, as the jump from 55 kilos to 60 kilos is simply too big for many of the best 55 kilo wrestlers to wrestle up and qualify. But also so few wrestlers can make 55 kilos or 121 pounds and wrestle well with same-day weigh-ins that this weight class is somewhat screwy in general, and this year is no real exception. At 63 kilos, while I think that Murad Mammadov is probably the best in the weight class due to his recent activity, he went to the Olympics at 60 kilos and is thus ineligible to compete at this tournament. With him out, my pick for 63 kilos is Lily Abduladze of Georgia, and he's probably the best that didn't go to the Olympics, and he's the reigning world champ at the weight class. He even had some good success this year, winning at Zagreb, although he did get wrecked at 2024 Euros at 63 kilos. So really, who knows, maybe some new guy that we've never seen before from the top countries in Greco, like Iran, Azerbaijan, and Japan, will have some new guy and he'll just clean house. But it's impossible to predict these types of things, so I'll stick with Abduladze to win at 63 kilo Greco-Roman. While it seems like a general no-brainer to pick the defending world champion if they're coming back for this tournament, the defending world champion at 72 kilo Greco-Roman, Ibrahim Ghanem of France, has gotten absolutely wrecked all of 2024, whether at 77 kilos or 72 kilos, so there is absolutely no chance that I'm picking him to win. I mean, I get losing up a weight class at 77 kilos, everyone's so much bigger and stronger, and you think you have to work twice as hard for the same techniques and takedowns, but you cannot lose 10-1 via tech ball to a 19-year-old that's never done anything outside of age-level championships at the weight in which you was defending senior-level world champion and have me think that you were a threat for the top step. Instead, World 2023 bronze medalist Selçuk Khan of Turkey is my pick, as he did win the 2024 European Championships at 72 kilos. In the final, he used exceptional mat control to win the passivity point in both periods without scoring any extra points, which is really rare, as well as the bias giving the second period passivity towards the wrestler that didn't get it in the first. I know his attempts at going into the Olympics at 67 kilos did fall flat, but I think that is more to do with him not being able to wrestle at 100% due to the extra 5 kilo weight cut, which must have severely hurt his ability to wrestle well enough to qualify for the Olympics. At 82 kilo Greco, I really have no good idea. The top countries at this weight class of Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkey are sending out younger wrestlers who have only achieved much at age-level competitions, so it's difficult to gauge how well they'll do at the senior level. And from a quick look at the entries from 2024 Worlds, none of the 2023 medalists of this weight class are returning, due to Olympic campaigns or possibly just getting beat, so this weight class is really up in the air for the younger wrestlers. Of those, I'll have to pick Alperen Berber of Turkey to win. I think, even though he might not be the most experienced at age level, he does have the senior level accolade of being a European champion this year, and so I think that'll help carry him into his first senior international tournament win. For 55 kilos women's freestyle, I'll go with Mo Kyoka of Japan, as Winchester of America has moved up from 55 kilos to 59 kilos, and Kyoka has beaten reigning world champion Okuno 5-1 to get the slot. Honestly, if I had to pick the most high percentage bet for winning at any weight class across all three styles, I'd pick her at 55 kilos. That's how much I trust the Japanese women's wrestling program. That in the absence of another highly accomplished wrestler, I'd pick Kyoka to win purely on her beating the other elite Japanese rep at the weight. After all, that's what happened to her brother this Olympics, Kotaro Kyoka at 65 kilos, who beat Otoguro and went on to win the Olympics. At 59 kilos, before I found the non-Olympic weight class entries, I had this weight class as a clear win for Kui Zhang. But now with 2021 Olympic champion Riso Kinjo of Japan at 63 down to 59 kilos and Jakara Winchester of the US up from 55 kilos to 59 kilos, I'm really not sure. My prediction for 65 kilos women's freestyle is probably Macy Kilty of America. As at 2023 Worlds, she attacked everyone but Ozaki, and now Ozaki's ineligible due to a campaign up at 68 kilos for Olympic bronze, and Kilty looked pretty sharp at US World Team Trials. Of course, I, and the rest of the world, thought the same about Kyle Dake after Zarabek Sidikov wasn't allowed to compete at the Olympics, and I already talked about how that went in my 2024 Olympic men's freestyle review. Yeah, shameless plug. I said in my recap of that weight class that wrestling was too complicated to be decided so simplistically. But unlike Dake, Kilty dominated her field, and honestly, I just don't think there's anyone that signed up for 65 kilos that could beat her. Except maybe Mira Muraoka of Japan, 2023 bronze medalist at 72 kilos, and her only loss was to Allure. But she's down 2 weight classes from 72 kilos, so I think the extra cut will make her easier for Kilty to beat. With the dominant force in the weight class, Amita Allure, gone, and the runner-up from 2023 Worlds, Davinson, also gone, I'll say that Zelmira Bakinbarova of Kazakhstan, one of the bronze medalists of 2023, as she's been active and had good results with her activity. As usual, though, I'm not sure. There may well be some other newcomer that'll clean house, but of the known quantities, I'd say that Bakberganova is most likely to win. There are other wrestlers, such as the current ranked number 1, Quan Xing of China, but her only international scene level medal is her gold medal at this year's Asians, and I haven't really seen enough of her to make me think that she'd have a big run, especially considering her less than stellar performances at her other 2 senior international tournaments. But that's it. So yeah, those are my predictions to win at the 2024 non-Olympic weight class World Championships. I'm not sure how accurate these are, as I don't exactly have a lot of data to draw from, as like half of the world champions from the previous year didn't even wrestle internationally until next year's Worlds, and this year a lot of the top wrestlers went up or down to qualify for the far more prestigious Olympics, making it even harder to get a good idea of who the best even are. Generally, I'm hoping for 5 or 6 out of 12 of my predictions to be right, but honestly, I might be down to 3 or 4. With tournaments like this, there's an average of 25 people who could win each weight class. But basically, that's it for the video.